Kindness without power is not just weakness. It is an invitation to be exploited, a marked target, a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. While you try to be just, the world laughs at your naivety and crushes you mercilessly. History was never written by the good. It was written by the ruthless, the strategists, those who knew that hesitation is defeat. Machiavelli already warned, unrestrained compassion is a weakness disguised as virtue. But the weak insist on believing the opposite. They try to negotiate with lions without realizing they are already in their jaws. The truth is cruel. Either you dominate or you are dominated. There is no middle ground. There is no justice for the weak. There is no mercy for those who cannot impose their will. So choose. Do you want to be the one who begs for mercy or the one who decides the fate of others? Because in the end, the weak don't just lose, they are devoured. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be brutally direct. Mercy is a luxury that few have the right to afford. In the game of power, being nice is not a virtue. It is a weakness disguised as kindness. Today, I want to expose a hard truth. The weak do not deserve indiscriminate mercy. If you insist on embracing the comfort of kindness where toughness is necessary, be prepared to pay a price far too high, the price of your own irrelevance. This world was not made for those who are content with being kind just for the sake of kindness. It was shaped by leaders who made tough, often unpopular but always necessary decisions. Nietzsche warned us about this when he said, "Compassion is the most dangerous form of cowardice." Not that he completely rejected human empathy. On the contrary, he understood that misplaced compassion can be deadly. When we offer mercy without discernment, we are not helping anyone. We are perpetuating weaknesses, fostering dependencies, and ultimately weakening both the recipient and the giver. Think about it. Imagine a boss who, instead of correcting serious mistakes made by his employees, chooses to ignore them or justify them with excuses like, "I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings." He is not being kind. He is creating a toxic environment of mediocrity where people never grow because they never face the consequences of their own actions. Or consider the case of an overprotective father who, driven by the desire to shield his child from suffering, solves all his problems, preventing him from learning through failure. That kindness is not help. It is an invisible prison that traps the other in an endless cycle of fragility. Now, stop and reflect. How many times have you held someone's hand who couldn't keep up, only to realize that both of you ended up falling behind? How many times have you hesitated to make a tough decision, afraid of hurting feelings, only to watch your team sink into mediocrity? Being nice may provide a fleeting sense of morality, but the world does not reward good intentions. It rewards results, and results demand firmness, coherence, and above all, the courage to do what must be done, even when it hurts. Machiavelli taught us centuries ago that indiscriminate kindness can lead to ruin. He knew that a true leader must make tough decisions, not out of cruelty, but out of clarity. Sometimes that means cutting ties, hardening the heart, and facing the discomfort of watching someone suffer in the short term. It's not malice, it's strategic vision. Misplaced compassion can destroy both the receiver and the giver because it perpetuates behavioral patterns that hinder growth. Think of Steve Jobs, one of the most controversial leaders of our time. He was criticized for his brutality in dealing with his team, for his impatience, and even for his apparent disregard for others' emotions. But he was also responsible for creating one of the most innovative companies in the world. Jobs didn't have time to be nice. He pushed his employees to be better, to think outside the box, and in the process, he made them grow. And yes, even suffer. That's not cruelty. That's vision. He understood that progress requires sacrifice and that leadership is not about pleasing people, but about guiding them. But here's the paradox. Being nice doesn't make you loved. It makes you irrelevant. People respect strength, clarity, and decisiveness. They follow leaders who know what they want and are willing to pay the price to achieve it. When you hesitate, avoid confrontation, or sacrifice progress in the name of a false harmony, you're not being kind, you're being weak. Have you ever seen a nice person get left behind? Have you witnessed the impact of an indecisive leader? They don't inspire respect. They breed indifference and, eventually, contempt. Great leaders understand that being just does not mean being indulgent. Being just means being firm, even when it hurts. Setting boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. Making difficult decisions, even when they hurt feelings. The cost of being nice is always paid by the strong. Saying that the weak do not deserve mercy does not mean abandoning them. On the contrary, it means giving them the chance to become stronger, push them out of their comfort zone, challenge them to surpass their own limits, teach them that the world will not bend to their fragility, and that therefore they must learn to be resilient. Imagine helping someone learn how to swim. You may hold them at first, but eventually you have to let go. If you don't, they will never learn to swim on their own. Misplaced mercy is like giving a fish to someone who is starving. True support is teaching them how to fish, even if that involves some struggle in the process. As Nietzsche said, "What does not kill me makes me stronger." The greatest gift you can give someone is allowing them to face their own abyss. However, this idea goes beyond leadership or interpersonal relationships. It extends to all areas of life. In education, for example, teachers who insist on making learning too easy by inflating grades or avoiding discipline are actually harming their students. They may think they are being generous, but in reality they are denying students the opportunity to develop resilience and critical skills. Similarly, in martial arts, a coach who does not push their students to their limits during training is putting them at risk when they face a real competition. Strength is only built under pressure. In politics, this dynamic is even more evident. Leaders who give in to populist demands, seeking immediate approval from the masses, often compromise the future of society. Irresponsible economic policies, distributing benefits without proper planning, or making excessive concessions in international affairs may seem kind in the short term, but they almost always result in deep crises in the long run. Visionary leaders, on the other hand, understand that some unpopular decisions are essential to ensuring collective well-being in the future. And on a personal level, how many times have we postponed difficult conversations because we fear conflict? How often do we avoid confronting friends or family about harmful behaviors just to preserve a false sense of peace? By doing so, we are only delaying the inevitable and allowing the problem to worsen. Being assertive is not being cruel. It is being honest. It is showing respect for the other person by recognizing that they are capable of facing the truth and growing from it. Of course, this does not mean we should abandon empathy or disregard genuine kindness. On the contrary, it is essential to understand that true kindness is not passive. It is not merely about avoiding pain or suffering. True kindness is active, proactive. It seeks growth, development, and transformation, even if that means moments of hardship. A gardener knows that for a plant to grow strong and healthy, sometimes it must be pruned. Likewise, a leader, a teacher, a parent, or anyone who wants to make a real impact must be willing to make difficult choices in pursuit of a greater goal. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been too nice and paid the price for it? Have you seen someone harmed by a lack of discipline or rigor? Or perhaps you were the one who was challenged and it made you grow? Share your experience in the comments, and let's discuss. What truly helps someone become stronger? Let's open the debate and reflect together. At the end of the day, the question is not about being cruel or inhumane. It is about understanding that the true role of a leader, or anyone who seeks to create a positive impact, is to find the balance between compassion and firmness. It is knowing when to extend a hand and when to push someone forward. It is recognizing that growth, no matter how painful, is the only path to real transformation. So, I ask you, what will your choice be? Will you continue to embrace the easy comfort of superficial kindness, or will you be willing to face the necessary discomfort to drive real, lasting change? Remember, the legacy we leave behind is not measured by the number of people we made smile, but by the impact we had on their lives. And impact often comes hand in hand with challenges.